Hey guys, nice to see you guys again. It's Chrissy, and I'm coming on here to do something. Well, I mean, all my videos are different, but this one is as an update. Currently, we are 5 days into my release of my first story in the Chaos Account series called Account of Anxiety. And essentially, the story is an intro into the Chaos Account saga that I'm writing. Now, you guys need to take note that this is a short story series. Some people have been making the mistake of thinking that they're novels, and I don't want people to be disappointed when the book's only like less than 50 pages long as an ebook. And yes, these are only as ebooks because they are short little snippets of each character. And the difference is that each story is going to be from a different character's point of view. So this first one, Account of Anxiety, is going to be about my character Blaine. And then the second one that I'm currently in the process of writing is from the point of view of Gail, which you will have met in the first story. Within the last 4 days, guys, I've already gotten 53 downloads. Like, ah! That is amazing for me. I don't think I've ever made that many sales since I've been publishing my works. I think 2011 was the first story I published, which that one no longer exists. The thing is I've gotten 53 downloads, and how many reviews have I gotten? Zippo. Which I know it not for every like 100 downloads or something you get, you're lucky if you get a handful of reviews. But reviews are the biggest thing that you guys, my readers, could do for me right now. Like, starting out as an author is really hard. It is really, really hard. Like, a lot of the times I just want to scream into a pillow and punch a wall, and it's frustrating, you know, and I'm trying my best to get the word out. Like, my previous works, I didn't put a lot of marketing into it, like, and because of that, it reflected in my sales of my story. And so this time I am going all out. I am trying to be active on this YouTube channel. I'm trying to be active on my other YouTube channel. I'm trying to continually create content for the Chaos Accounts and work on novels at the same time. I feel like it'll give me less time to focus on the negative. So if you guys can leave a review, please, 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 please.
Howard, please, I'm begging you.
Roger, our group historian. Has Sheldon ever begged before?
3 times. He begged the Fox network not to cancel Firefly. He begged the TNT network to cancel Babylon 5. And when he got food poisoning at the Rose Bowl parade, he begged a deity he doesn't believe in to end his life quickly.
Leave a review if you've read it or once you read it. That would be great. Just to give you a taste of what's an Account of Anxiety, this is essentially an intro to a inter-organizational war between an organization called MRC and Chaos Blaze, which Chaos Blaze, obviously you can just tell by the name that they like chaos. Which MRC tries to dispel, because I don't explain it until the second story, but MRC stands for Meta, React, and Counter. Technically, the MRC's goal is to counter and hopefully stop any of Chaos Blaze's antics, but the difference is, in this story, we've got a variable that both organizations have been watching carefully, and that is my main character in Account of Anxiety, named Blaine Foster. For me, Blaine was a nice starter for this because he's an outsider. So not only will he be confused, but based on this intro, you guys will be confused too. But I'm hoping that you'll be confused enough to want to venture in and see exactly what this is all about. Because this war is not all that it seems on the outside. It's not just like guns firing, you know, and it's not just magic flying everywhere. It's not like Avengers or anything like that. Though my elevator pitch for this is Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. crossed with Divergent if the teenagers in Divergent had superpowers. So, but towards the middle of the story, spoiler dog, it's not that much of a spoiler. When Blaine meets the members of Division 3, he snaps at them. It's like, you don't understand what it's like to not be able to help your family. But the main reason that no one responds right away, or at least responds in any way from the rest of Division 3, is because they all have gone through the same thing that he's going through, and their stories are pretty much just as tragic as his, and you'll find out why through each individual story. You'll get to watch the events go by from a different set of eyes for each scene, and each story it's kind of like a TV show. That's why I like calling it a serial or a saga or whatever, is because each story can be slightly self-contained, but you still have questions at the end, and there's plot lines that arc all the way through the series. So, I'm hoping maybe you guys will join me along for the ride with Division 3. Now, the thing that I'm liking about creating these characters for Division 3 is the fact that I'm making them more human than I've ever made characters before, meaning that they've all got flaws, both externally and internally. For instance, Blaine, you find out at the very beginning that he has issues with anxiety and with ADHD. And, for me, that made it more real because it was a handicap for him in this first story. But he's going to develop as the story goes on, trying to shove away that anxiety, trying to better himself in his mind, which is why I like putting him as the first story in the series, because you get to watch him develop through the eyes of everybody else. And for instance, I have other characters that will be showing up. A few of them have bipolar disorder or manic depression, if that's what you prefer to call it. Others have depression by itself. Others have PTSD. Others have speech impediments. Others, stuff like that. So it really hit home for me because I obviously, you can tell by my videos, I don't do well in front of a camera. I'm camera shy, which is, essentially part of an anxiety issue. Being able to create characters that have problems that are so widespread that, people discriminate against. Like, actually, one of the characters that you meet, like in the 4th scene in this story, his name is Luz, L-U-Z, but his birth name, the name he was born with, and the name that his parents still use is Lucy. Luz is transgender. I think I'm doing him a little justice, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But that's where I'm going to lead into this story release. What I decided to do is to do a campaign. And this campaign is between release date, which was 4 days ago, up until Valentine's Day, so February 14th. For each download I get of the Chaos Account of Anxiety, I will donate a specific amount of money out of my pocket to an organization called Freedom from Fear, which is based in Staten Island. It's a national nonprofit organization dedicated to helping spread awareness and helping those with mental problems such as anxiety and depression and stuff. And what I'm figuring is, as the subsequent stories come out, I'm going to do a campaign for each story where I do a similar thing that I'm doing now. Okay, and all the links you'll need to either get to know me or find out more about Freedom from Fear will be below. I also will have links to all the active links to Account of Anxiety, including Amazon, Smashwords, Barnes & Noble. Once it's loaded, I'll have that link down there. I will also have all of my contact information on my website on the Contact Me tab. Also, I have great thanks to Patreon. Patreon is a crowdfunding website. It's along the lines of Kickstarter, except it's meant for constant content, meaning constantly cranking out stuff instead of just one giant project. It's like multiple mini projects. And the Chaos Account series that this is all about is being funded by my patrons on Patreon. If you want to see more of the Chaos Accounts, or you want to have, some input in what happens in the Chaos Accounts, or there's even perks that you can get for being a patron of a certain level. You could get free chat books. So, meaning I will print out a physical copy of whatever story in the series you want. I will personalize it and autograph it and mail it to you. That's one of the rewards tiers, but there's a lot of other stuff, including the biggest one that you can do, which includes a free physical copy of The Protector's Reality, which is my first novel. It'll be a free physical copy that I will personalize and sign and mail to you. If I didn't have my Patreon page, I wouldn't have had the inspiration to start creating content like the Chaos Accounts. Shout out to Peter Hollins and Evan Hollins. You should check them out on Patreon or on YouTube. Both of them are really talented musicians, and I wouldn't even have known the site existed if it wasn't for them. So thumbs up to you guys. You guys are a big inspiration for me taking this journey, and I really appreciate it. Even if you can't afford Patreon, that's fine. I completely understand. If you can't afford Patreon, maybe you can just share the links to my story, leave a review would help a lot too. Leaving a review or sharing it with people that you think might enjoy my stories. Follow me on Twitter or like my Facebook author page or something. And all that shows support too. It doesn't have to be monetary. As long as I know that people like what I write and they're going to continue to read me, that means the most to me in the entire world. So like I said, I've had 53 downloads of Account of Anxiety in the last 4 days. If we can get the word spread out, that'd be great, because those 53 downloads have already generated $15 that I'm donating to Freedom from Fear, which is a big deal. And we still have like 3 weeks to go, guys, like almost a little over 3 weeks for this campaign. So share this video, share my blog links, share the links to my story, because, essentially, even if you download a free copy, I'm still donating money out of my pocket, and it's going towards a good cause that means a lot to me, and I hope it means a lot to you too. So that's it for now, guys. I will hopefully be able to update you guys later, and I'm going to continue to upload videos here with just me, or maybe with JV again, and I've got a couple videos coming up with B-Man that hopefully will turn out okay. So until next time, guys, you spread the word, please. Go out everywhere, and I'll see you guys later. All right, keep faith, guys. All right, bye.